just so everybody knows. That way we can archive it and post it on the website later.
Okay.
So we'll go ahead and get started. First of all, apologies for the technical difficulties that we had this morning. We're obviously all new to this and working through all these tools that we're using. So I appreciate those of you joining. I know we'll get some more popping in here. So bear with us. But this is the second coach chat that we've had. We had our first one last week. These will be held every Wednesday at 11 o'clock. And really the idea behind these is that we wanted to have an outlet for all of our professionals who are instructors and teachers and coaches to be able to talk to each other. You know, there's really no formal agenda to these. We just want all of you to have an opportunity to talk with each other, know that you're not alone in this situation, talk about what some of you are doing to stay engaged with your students and your customers, information that we can share to pass along to you that may be a benefit, you know, like unemployment insurance, some of the programs to the SBA, like PPP and the EIDL loan. We can certainly, you know, help try to answer any questions that you may have, but certainly point you in the right direction as far as that's concerned. We'll have some updates for you from our teaching committee. So at this time, I'd like to hand it over to our section teaching committee chairperson, Randy Chang.
Hello, everybody. I just saw Mr. Tom Addis, I think, just got on. Good morning, Tom. So if you folks could first mute your microphones there, that'd help with some of the feedback. Again, as Nikki pointed out, this is our second chat, and it's just, again, an outlet for us to share, and that's kind of the big thing is mostly sharing. I will share with you with what I'm doing from a teacher, coaches who has a business, obviously in this industry as an independent contractor. So if you folks have not been tuning in to the PGA chats that we're having on Mondays and Fridays at 10 o'clock, I please do so to get a lot of the information Nikki is talking about as far as SBA disaster loans, which kind of really aren't loans, they're forgivable. The PPP that is also out there for you. So those kind of things you can get a lot of details about. And this Friday, there's going to actually be someone on there kind of walk you through as I did on Monday, how to go through some of those SBA loans. So from that financial standpoint, that was really good information for those of us that teach for a living as independent contractors or have your own businesses. What I've been doing personally is getting prepared for when we do get open, and the type of changes, how I'm changing the way that we go about with our teaching, coaching. A lot that I do has to do with groups, juniors especially is the majority of my business, and again, practicing a new way or some new practices of safety to make sure the parents or even just my individual lessons are going to be comfortable with in coming to take a lesson. So those are things that we focused on. As far as you know, I will be probably wearing a mask, or it's kind of more of a bandana actually, when I start getting back into this, keeping the distancing and obviously not being able, trying to stay 6 feet away from at least 6 feet away from my students is going to be a new practice for me, but there's definitely ways to do that, and mostly doing the on-course lessons, which is actually pretty easy to do. It's just about when you finally get to the green and not taking the flag sticks out, or some of these practices that the golf courses are actually doing as well. So one of our other big issues that we're getting a lot of calls upon is obviously junior league, and we're happy to have Junko Suzuki here on the line to go ahead and update us on what's going to be happening here in the next month. So Junko, if you can kind of fill us in with what's happening there and when do you think we can possibly get started, and that information that you have.
Thanks, Randy, and good morning, everyone. Happy to talk about PGA Junior League. I don't know, or I know we have a few captains on the call here today, but we did send out an email the other day. I believe it was the day before yesterday, just kind of updating everyone on where we stand as a team. Obviously, we don't have an exact date yet other than that postponement date of May 10th of when we would like to start the season, but we're following CDC guidelines and what they recommend because we obviously value, or we want to prioritize everyone's safety. Of course, you as captains and coaches, and also your players. So whatever the CDC basically what they recommend is what we're going to follow. So if that May 10th date gets extended, we'll obviously follow that. And we have different contingency plans that we've been discussing as a team as for what will happen with post as we continue to see where the virus containment goes. So we're prepared to make modifications and adapt to whatever comes our way. But most importantly, we are prioritizing our regular season, and we'd like to have that whenever that may be. So even if this regular season gets pushed back into middle of the summer, or of course, if we have to combine it with the fall, we're definitely looking to do that, as we know how much regular season has an impact on you guys as professionals and your facilities, and also the amount of players that we touch through this program. So please know that we're prioritizing regular season, and we will make changes and modifications, and we'll be flexible as we go because of the situation. If any of your parents are asking for refunds or anything like that, just please feel free to contact me. And we're, again, being flexible with that as well. As long as you didn't order your team kits, we can give a full refund right now. For those of you who have ordered your team kits, just reach out to me and we can talk about it, and we make sure that your parents are obviously taken care of. That's really it for now. Obviously, we're just encouraging everyone to stay connected with your team and just continue the line of communication with them, because I think, as we all know through all of these video chats, it's nice to stay connected with everyone through a time like this. So we're just encouraging you to do the same with your current golfers and not just your junior league players. But yeah, if anyone has any questions throughout this call or whenever, I'm here, and you can feel free to reach out to me. Randy, I hope that answered or clarified most things.
Yeah, I have some questions actually. So as far as the modifications, and are we looking at still keeping the same size teams if it does go that? Are we going to shrinking maybe some of the groups going out as far as modifications?
Yep, great question. So some of the things that we have talked about, and none of this is official yet, obviously, we'll continue to push out communications as we do make these definite changes. But some of the ideas that we've talked about is changing the number of players on a team. So right now we tell, or the minimum is 8 players for a team. But yes, that number might change. We might bring it down to 6. We might bring it down to 4, just given the situation, which is also why we're very aware of just what's ahead, right? Even if things get better and the CDC lets everyone get together, when I say get together, obviously there's going to be restrictions. A lot of clubs are going to have what I would like to think is soft openings, where golfers are still going to be limited to do certain things. Some private clubs might be member only, and they might restrict guest plays for a while. So we're taking some of those things into consideration too. So we're going to encourage people to maybe think about doing small in-house leagues. So typically with junior league, when we have facilities that do in-house leagues, we ask that there's 32 player minimum. So those numbers definitely might come down, whether it's I don't know, 24. I don't have a number yet, but again, we're talking about being flexible with some of those numbers so everyone can be eligible for postseason. Obviously, if we move forward with a postseason.
All right, thanks, Junko. I also heard that postseason again may be pushed back. Has it already been made that decision that it is pushed back?
Not yet. We're still just kind of waiting to see what the CDC says. I think first and foremost, we're just going to wait to see what the update is with this May 10th date and kind of and then make decisions based off of that.
All right, thank you. Any other questions from anybody out there that has questions for Junko on Junior League? Okay, moving on. The other thing that the teaching committee has also done to kind of fill your day with something to do and look forward to. We had our first youth summit presentation with Rick Sessinghouse and Colin Morikawa last week Wednesday, which was attended very well, and it was so good that the PGA of America picked it up as one of their videos. And so we're going to thank, I saw Josh Alpert just got on, so I was going to kind of review what the plans were going to be here in the next upcoming weeks for you folks to look forward to. So to some really neat presentations from the presenters that initially were going to speak at the Youth Summit. So Josh, if you're on there, can you tell us what to look forward to here this coming Tuesday? And if not, I'll go ahead and do it for you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so we have this upcoming Tuesday, we have Brady Riggs. Brady Riggs is a tremendous PGA professional, and he will be the feature speaker for next Tuesday's virtual youth summit session that we will now be doing. Looks like seven more presentations that we have lined up. I believe Tuesdays is going to be the day for the next seven weeks, and we will try to have the obviously youth teaching, youth coaching, the value of leading our youth through this tough time and into the future is the subject matter discussion, and we're going to hit on different topics. So Brady's going to talk about setting up programs, setting up combines, how to run effective practices at your facilities. He has a lot of experience working with high schools and colleges. His daughter plays for Irvine. She'll be a co-star to lead us into the mind of a college golfer and how they use some of these setups. So I think it'll be valuable with respect to how we can really lead setup of our programs to help students get better, and a lot of stats on that. So super excited about next week. And then we've got a couple more lined up that I think you guys will enjoy. So we're just trying to stay engaged, keeping people interested and active, and hopefully sharing valuable information as well.
Thanks, Josh. The actual official schedule, I know you are confirming everybody in the speaking presentations. Are there any others that you can kind of share with us now going on the further weeks? Because I kind of saw some neat topics, neat speakers.
Yes. So I'm going to pull this up here. I can go through after next week, the session 3 for Tuesday, April 21st. Nikki Gatch, who is a world-renowned PGA, Southern California PGA representative. I could go on, but I probably shouldn't here. Allison Kurt, who we all know very well, and Andrea Lee. She actually grew up at our facility, the Lakes at El Segundo here in Southern California, as a 7-8-year-old in camps and things. She's obviously was recently the #1 player in the world and just turned professional. And so we will have the junior golfer journey from a woman's perspective, which I think will be very, very valuable. And so it's just going to be a Q&A and a large discussion around the women's perspective on growing golf and growing junior golf. Brandon Cohen, session 4. He is the founder of Liquid IV. Again, they are Liquid IV is a sponsor for ours, and the subject matter there is going to be building a better next generation of young people and better young business people. So we'll learn about his experiences as a junior golfer, top collegiate golfer here locally at LMU, but more importantly, venture into our opportunity as PGA professionals to have an impact on young people. As much as young golfers and share on, maybe inspire some people that our opportunity to shape a next generation is larger than just through the game of golf. Session 5, we're going to talk about tournament golf here locally. We'll have some speakers. Dan Martin, for sure confirmed from California Junior Golf Tour. We will sort out the representation from the SCPGA Tour, SCGA, San Diego Junior Golf Association, and just functionally talk about the various junior golf tournaments that are out there for our youth. Session 6, Ted Gleason, who is the Road to College Golf founder. He is fantastic for those of you who don't know him. A large discussion on college golf, how to get in, what coaches look for, the role of parents, the role of players, the role of us professionals in preparing our students to become college eligible. Session 7, fitness segment will be the specific topic. I've actually been working with a group on something called the stadium concept, which is outdoor. It's a system completely geared around fun, and it's focused on developing athletes as much as golfers. There's a mental component and a physical training component. So I'll share some of that. As well as hopefully one of the folks from For Fitness and or TPI industry leader to look at youth fitness as a topic. And then the last one is a putting segment. We'll have a lot of you on the call weigh in with your favorite junior putting tips, and hopefully have a fun interactive session there. That's what we have planned, and we'll see how she rolls.
Josh, thanks so much for all the work that you've done with this. For everybody out there, you know, this is a time again where we're all trying to get together and share some best practices and why a person like Josh has a extremely successful program at his facility. This is a time to reach out if you folks want to know. Either myself, people like Dan Martin, who again has another incredible program and very specifically junior oriented, to reach out to us or let us know how we can help make your programs better, and the things that we do that has allowed us to do pretty well in this industry, in this market of junior golf and youth. So thanks, Josh, again for all your work and your passion to go ahead and share a lot of this with everyone out there. Is there any other questions? Again, this is about sharing, and this is about kind of a platform to share with everybody what has worked really well with you and your programs, or just your teaching on any level. So first of all, any feedback for anybody?
Randy, I'm gonna jump in unless somebody has something. I just want to note that we do have two of our last 2-year teachers of the year for the section. 2018 Sean Cox and 2019 Tasha Bolig. So thank you guys for joining. And I would like to pose a question to you all. First of all, how are you doing? And second of all, what activities or how are you staying engaged with your students during this time?
Should I talk? It's Sean Cox.
You're unmuted, Sean, so go for it. Thank you.
So I did a partnership with Swing U I met Kirk Pagendorf through PGA Magazine. He used to work for them years ago. So I actually have my own instruction app. And so it has a feed. So the students that I have that have downloaded that, I'm communicating through that app with some tips and posting. One of the biggest things that I learned, I didn't know for years, was that you can screen record anything off your phone or your iPad. And there's a lot of things that I'll learn, and I keep a journal. I use an app called Day One. So I've been adding to my journal because of all the times I think the most stuff is being posted online right now by instructors because they have so much time. But a lot of this stuff, we've been told to use a paper journal or something like that, but I actually use Day One, which is an app, and I'll put videos into like today I watched an interview with Andrew Rice and Sasha McKenzie, and he was talking about, torques on the club and all that. And I want to have that for the rest of my life in case I forget about it. So I screen record it. I put it into my journal. That's kind of the stuff. Our golf course is closed. I'm the only golf operations employee right now that hasn't been furloughed. So I'm actually at work, taking care of some stuff. And I'm actually, when it's not raining, helping with the maintenance crew. We're doing all kinds of work on the golf course. So I'm technically more of a golf operations person than I am an instructor right now.
Thanks for sharing, Sean. Tasha, how about you? How are you doing, first of all?
I'm good. How is everybody doing? Nikki, thanks for the introduction, and hope you guys are doing well and your families are doing well. It's a crazy time, right? Our club is closed. My husband's club is closed, but we're very fortunate that El Caballero, our members are still paying the employees, and they're actually paying a percentage of our lessons too right now, which will end soon, but that's been a really nice reprieve for the last month. So kind of as a give back to our members, we've been doing a quarantine Q&A with our members where we email them out videos on YouTube, and then on social media, and then we're having them comment with, like, what do beginner golfers do during this time, or what do I do about my over-the-top move? And then we'll make videos and answer questions. So we've been doing that specifically for our members. We've been trying to reach out, to all of our, like, the attendees for our programs and let them know we haven't forgotten about them, but that we will be rescheduling. As far as other extracurriculars, we have a 3-year-old, so that leaves very little time for me personally. I can tell you that homeschooling is not for me, but beyond that, I do some stuff for Golf Digest on demand. So I'm doing that in my spare time, and then trying to do some Coach Now online lessons for the people that I teach, like in other places. But that's really ultimately my number one goal, besides getting through the 13-hour day with a 3-year-old, is to take care of our members and to make sure that they have some content, they have some interaction. We're getting our chefs to, post videos, and anything that we can do with our instructional staff. We're even doing like a gardening thing with our superintendent. So we're trying to engage the membership the best that we can. And that's what we've got going, but it's certainly a crazy time. But thank you for organizing this, Brandy and Nikki. This is great. I'm sorry I missed last week, but I'm glad I got to jump on the call today.
Well, thanks. We appreciate you being on. Thanks for sharing. I mean, it's, we know how important engagement is, as instructors and really in any aspect of our industry, but now it's really vital. We have to stay connected with our students and our customers, and we will be back, and golf will be back. And I think we have the opportunity, I think we all believe this, that, golf will be a great outlet for people to sort of get back to some sort of normalcy, to be outside and to be with family and friends. And so, let's be ready. Let's be ready when we finally get that green light to go, and stay engaged. Utilize social media. If you're not currently on social media, you need to be. If you need help setting that up, we're happy to help you. From your section staff is here to help in any way, whether that's setting up a Facebook page or an Instagram page or whatever it might be. Filming tips. You don't need all this fancy equipment to do it. Just go do it, and post it. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it's a great way for you to stay engaged. I know we had, if you notice, there is a chat function here, and Heidi had a question. A couple of great opportunities for you to take advantage of through the PGA. So pga.coach, if you haven't become certified, highly recommend that you utilize this time to do that. It takes about 2 to 3 hours. There's no charge for that. Simply go to pga.coach. It's instruction, based around the American development model. So really, really great content. And once you do become certified, you'll have access to the app. And the app is really great. It has a lot of drills and certain things that you can build into your lesson plan. You can take notes on students and communicate with your students through the app. I think it's really, really well done. So I highly recommend, if you haven't done that, to do that. In addition, the PGA is offering free access to the library to become a specialized or certified professional, which normally that's a $350 fee. So another great opportunity to take advantage of that. It is free for the next 90 days, and you'll have access to the entire library for all 3 of the career paths. So teaching and coaching, golf operations, and executive management. So if you're really on top of things, you can knock out 2 of them, probably. I know there has been some issues. We are very aware of it. PGA is aware of it. I learned a little bit more about it. So all of the classes are uploaded into a system called Canvas. Canvas is the same system that most schools in the United States are utilizing right now for online learning. So it's really a matter of system overload. PGA is aware of it. Canvas is aware of it. I have heard from some people that they're able to get in and have no problems. Heidi, it sounds like you're still having some challenges. I do know that the internet browser that you use, they're recommending that you use Firefox. So maybe give that a try. I know they were having some trouble with Chrome. There is a mentor line, Junko. Thank you for posting that. It's there on the chat. I recommend that you call, and they can probably give you further information or help you along the lines with that. But again, 2 great opportunities to take advantage of during this time.
Thanks, Nikki. I finally figured out how to see who's on the call right here. And Blake, you're out there. I know another person that has a big junior program, very successful one through the Henry Brunton School. What kind of things are you doing with in staying communication with your students as far as your juniors, and what are you doing? Do you know how to unmute yourself?
Yeah, I just figured that out. Randy.
Okay.
Hey guys, well, thanks for the phone call. I appreciate it. It's been actually kind of fun. I have a 6-month-old daughter now, so it's been fun taking care of her and being a stay-at-home dad. But obviously, I miss being at the golf course, seeing my students. So I started this thing called Fireside Chat with Blake, and I'm doing a Zoom meeting with all of my students and whoever wants to join part of our academy. And I'm doing that once every other week. And with that, just like a half-hour meeting, kind of going over what's to come with the academy, what's the status like, if any kids have any questions. And it was a really good, successful one we had last week. And I told them that I'm doing kind of complimentary swing analysis using Huddle, and they're sending me videos, and I'm kind of giving them some tips. And I'm also doing a Zoom meeting for 20 minutes, and that's all complimentary for our academy students. I'm currently right now I'm on disability or furloughed or whatever you want to call it. I'm actually on paid family leave right now. But I have a donation going to my daughter's college fund. So trying to collect money for that, which has been nice. And then I'm also doing, as part of my programs, we have about 67 kids in our bottom level, our beginner level programs. And so I'm seeing a Zoom meeting with them on Thursdays, probably every other week as well. And then as well as my 2, I have about 55 kids in my other program, my higher level kids, and I'll be doing a Zoom meeting with them after that as well. And the Zoom meetings for the beginners will be kind of going over the U.S. Kids Player Pathway booklets and kind of just assisting with them to kind of look over their booklets, what to do, how to practice at home. And with the higher level programs, I'll be doing kind of a training schedule, kind of creating a calendar. I've been learning that with my wife and being here kind of home, staying in shelter, is that we have to meal plan quite a bit. So I'm having a calendar with kind of what we're having for dinner each day, And that's what I want to do with, and even my education as well. I mean, I've been overflowed with education things going on this past week and past 2 weeks. So I'm kind of creating a plan with each of the students and having a question answer with them as well. So trying to stay as connected as possible with them. And I think there's a phone call this morning and with a retail tribe, and it was an awesome phone call with just kind of talking to your customers, being able to reach out to them, texting them, calling them, just checking in how they're doing. That personal touch is super important. And I'm just kind of I'm doing an Instagram as well. I just started that up again. I've been out absent for the last 3 years, but I got more time on my hands now, so I'm kind of doing that and keep my students engaged and just kind of keep my core clients involved with that. So that's what I'm doing.
Thanks, Blake. So again, a lot of what this was all about with our members that are on the teaching committee. Heidi, I know you're there as well. Tasha's just getting on board, but again, reaching out to the committee members is kind of what we're here, and what it's all about. So thank you, the committee members that are on this call, Sean Cox. That's one of the things that has been neat is I haven't been that familiar with a lot of these different apps and stuff, and started using Zoom, which has been great, and keeping in contact. Even the face-to-face part of it has been really important, as well as the Instagramming and the social media aspect. So I got to learn how to use that, as well as I'm learning how to use all of this on the fly. But any other best practices here by anybody on here?
I want to add real quick, Randy, while you're on that subject, and I've put a couple of links on the chat over here on the right. I hope you've all visited the COVID-19 page on scpga.com, and we do have some resources, lots of resources for you. Certainly on unemployment insurance, the PPP loan, the EIDL loan, directing you to where you need to go. But we also have instructor tools. So if you want to learn about Huddle or Swing U or how to use Zoom, we have some links there for you. I've also put the app that Sean mentioned, the Day One app, the link on there as well. And then one other thing, and I'll do this reminder before we cut off, MSR for these chats. I did post the link up here on the top of the chat bar. It's also listed on the COVID page under member chats. For these calls specifically where there wasn't any registration, we do have a form that you can fill out. So if you fill that out, we'll ensure that you get your MSR credit. If you have trouble finding it, certainly just reach out to us and we'll take care of it. For the other chats that we have throughout the week, they're done through GoToMeeting, and that's set up a little bit differently. And you have to pre-register for those, and that's when we ask for your PGA member number, and then MSR is recorded automatically. We are, with everything that we're offering, and with the new Youth Summit series on Tuesdays that will start next week. We're also, as you know, we offer Catalyst every other Thursday, but we're now starting to fill in those off Thursdays. So starting next week, we'll have something every single day for our members, whether it be a chat opportunity like this or an educational seminar like a Catalyst or the Youth Summit series. We'll have something every day for members. So with that also is a lot of MSR to record. So be patient with us. You won't see it appear the next day. So give us some time, but we'll ensure that if you register for the chats and or fill out this form, that you will be taken care of. Thanks.
Thanks, Nikki. All right. So as far as information goes, that's all I have right now. I want to again open it up to talk about whatever questions you might have on any aspect. Are there any questions, comments, feedbacks?
Yeah, Randy, I've got something to add as well. I mean, just with Instagram, and all this education going on. I mean, I was talking to Josh this morning. I was on a decade call and a retail tribe call at the same time. I would just choose wisely of what education you want to do. That was kind of challenging for myself, just to kind of go back and forth with all the stuff going on. There's so much out there, and kind of give a game plan for yourself and the students. As like there was Lizette Salas last night with Instagram Live with Jim Gormley. That was an awesome conversation. I think Instagram Live has a ton of information right now with all these instructors and with all these people doing webinars and Zoom meetings. Just create a game plan and then give that to yourself and your students as well. My advice.
Thanks, Blake.
And one thing, at least everything that we're doing with the section, is recorded and archived on the website. So if you do have conflicting times, know that it will be available to you to watch at a later time. It's not that, you have one shot at it.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, if you can participate in 2 webinars at the same time, that's some talent.
It was a
talented,
challenge.
but wow. I do want to mention on the California PJ chat that we do with the Northern California section on Mondays and Fridays. This Friday, we'll have a few people on there that we haven't had before. We have a health officer, director. We will also have someone that's an expert in the unemployment insurance, so can answer any questions there, and someone also on health insurance. For those that maybe have been, unfortunately, have lost their health insurance. So, again, we're trying to bring as many special guests and experts as we can on those chats to help you, and hopefully be able to join us.
Nikki, tomorrow's Catalyst isn't that with Craig Kessler?
Yeah, tomorrow's Catalyst is with Craig Kessler. Perfect timing for that. We arranged that months ago. But as you know, hopefully most of you know, Craig Kessler is the Government Relations Director for the SCGA. He's been an incredible resource for everyone in our industry, so knowledgeable and so helpful. So he'll be on Catalyst tomorrow. You should have received an email just before this chat started this morning.
Yeah.
So be sure to register for that as well. And if you can't make it, it will be archived.
Yeah, he is definitely one of the best resources we have when it comes to the real details, and he's really good at explaining it. And I would recommend anyone that has any questions on it. He's been on it. So
yeah, especially with regards to independent contractors and
yes,
what's available to all of you that fall into that category. It'll be really good stuff, and he's, like I said, he's very knowledgeable. So be sure to check that out.
Okay. Just a question out there. Is anybody in a position right now with their facility or doing, maybe from an indoor standpoint, doing any teaching right now? So everybody's at home watching babies, and for me, surfing.
Is there any more golf courses open in Orange County? I heard David L. Baker and Coto de Caza and Old Ranch were still open. Is that still the case? Do you know that?
I don't believe they are, Blake, from what I've heard.
I know Coto is closed, but I heard the same thing. I know David Baker was open, I believe, on Sunday, but that was the last that I heard. I don't know about Old Ranch, though.
I don't think Old Ranch is, and I know they just had a fire in either their cart barn or their maintenance yard caused by a golf cart battery. So, something to watch out for.
Don't ride a golf cart at Old Ranch then.
Right.
Any other things out there that people have seen that you might recommend for us to look up, watch? Netflix, Any good
Randy,
series? I kind of got into the Korean dramas, and that's a real good one. It really takes up a lot of your time.
Ozark season.
Sorry. Go ahead.
No, sorry, Tasha.
You're-
Ozark season 3, or any of the Ozark seasons if you haven't.
Oh, I heard about that one.
Oh, you
What
guys are
about
talking about really fun stuff. Have you guys ever heard of Dr. Michael Gervais? He's a performance psychologist who works with he spoke at a TPI Golf Fitness Summit, and then he works with the Seahawks. He's based in LA, but he has some really unbelievably good podcasts. I try to
what?
listen to him in my spare time.
What was that, Tasha, again?
Can you put him
I
in
can,
the message board?
yes, I will
Yeah,
absolutely put a link to his site. Yeah,
Perfect.
he is awesome.
yeah.
All different great speakers.
Yeah, Dr. Gervais is the best. I actually was fortunate to do some training under him about 10, 12 years ago and follow all of his podcasts
Yeah, I did their Finding
online.
Mastery, that
Yeah,
Finding Mastery series. It's so
that's it.
good. Oh my
Yep.
God, love it.
Yeah, he's tremendous.
Here, I'm gonna, that's his
Tosh, I
website.
saw your question about any website design tools. I don't really know of anything. I can certainly find out unless someone on this call has used someone that they can.
Yeah, I thought it was a good time for people to update their websites
Yeah,
and
for
whatever.
sure,
So I was
for
just
sure.
curious if that would help more than a few of us.
guys, hi, it's Heidi.
Hey, Heidi.
Different things. One, just about that last topic about the website. Chris Locke is the guy that's helped me, and he kind of started, with the PGA saying, "Hey, call Locke for help with websites and stuff." But he was a friend of mine and worked right here in Encinitas anyway, so I started using him. But I got to give of credit for the growth of my business in the last year, like huge change in my business because of Chris. So I don't know how much more he can handle, really busy, and he's, at his little girl too now. He's been awesome. He's the majority of the reason why my business is. So that's that. Other thing, where are you surfing? Because my son's crazy and there's nowhere to surf down here. Where are you surfing? Is it open?
Oh, it's called Chang's Reef. It's my own spot right here in front of my house. Tell them to come
there?
over.
Okay. But back to reality. Two things. One is out our teaching and the notes that we're doing or the idea for the book for us. So maybe you could talk a little bit about it, give me some ideas, because I'm like not totally sure on what I should be doing about that. And then other big topic might be a not for this call, using this time a little bit like managing my corporate taxes and business and using QuickBooks, which then bring about, incorporate that of, is it just Heidi giving lessons or am I going to be a company? That's on and get help with that.
Well, Heidi, I don't know, but you kind of went in and out, so I couldn't hear anything. I don't know if anybody, Nikki, did you were able to hear?
I think
I
she
heard
had two
something about the book.
questions. One on the book. So maybe that's a separate topic since that's specific to the teaching committee. And then the other was, I think, how to set yourself up as a corporation or a sole proprietorship. That's going to be really important, especially as when things sort of get back to normal. The focus is going to be back on AB5 and how that affects our independent contractors. So highly recommend that you get a business license if you don't already have one, and you set yourself up as a corporation. I think you can go to your local, San Diego County website, Heidi, and find out how to do that. It's fairly easy to do and not that expensive. And if anyone else has gone through that process, please jump in.
Yeah, it is pretty simple, and depending on what aspect you want to do, sole proprietorship and LLC, there are different tax benefits to that part of it. I just did it real simple. It was real simple through LegalZoom. So again, it's not that difficult to do. It doesn't cost that much. I think it cost me like $99 or something back when I did it. But those are some resources. As far LegalZoom was real simple, and they're pretty helpful with that. And so that's what I did. You're gonna have to ask your accountant or whoever prepares your taxes on your situation as far as what you want to deem yourself as a business entity.
That might not be a bad catalyst topic, just if there's a formalized way that we can advise independent contractors through our section, if that's something that those that need to be doing that need to be doing. Can we maybe put that out, not just for the people on this call, for us to talk about, but can we have it? I think it would be a great subject matter discussion.
Yeah, I agree. Because even now, if
big for me, because you love all these seminars, and I'll always be soaking, learning about teaching. In the last 2 years, for me, and like looking ahead at the potential of my instruction business, it's, I'm constantly scrambling and asking people, well, how do I do this? Because I'm expert running a business. I don't know the law, and I have looked up legals. Still, should I LLC? No, I don't know what it all means. And then the whole thing that's going on with independent contractor, I always get kind of stopped. So I would love seminars. I mean, like these guys that have that have doing the chats about all laws and what's going on. I found that really helpful. The seminar, like you just said, Josh, about helping us build our business like legally and financially, quick and all that stuff.
I think it'll be valuable this Friday on the California chat if you're going to be on that. Steve Tellis will be on that, and I think he can attempt to address this and maybe point you in the right direction. But love the idea, Josh, of maybe a separate catalyst on how our independent contractors can navigate through this, and again be sort of ready when everything gets back to normal and AB5 shows its head again. Because even now, if you guys, and I don't know if any of you that are independent contractors, which most of you probably are, if you've applied for unemployment insurance, I mean, you're going to have something to show, whether you've filed your taxes or records of your income and expenses. And then taking it further, if you were to apply for the PPP or the other EIDL loan, you're going to need even more documentation. So, and you're going to have to be set up as a real business. So it's important for all of our instructors to sort of get that in line and get that taken care of.
Thanks, Nikki.
My brother has been helping me. My brother helping me with my finance and Quicken and going back over and say, well, I'm an engineer. And his opinion is that no, you are just renting at your course and like legally and tax independent course.
You're kind of coming in and out, Heidi. Sorry, none of us can really hear you, so it must be a bad connection. But I think this the call on Friday with Steve Tellis, who's an employment attorney, I think will provide some really good information and point us in the right direction. And we'll look into having either him or someone else, join us on a catalyst to help everybody walk through. We are at the top of the hour. I know we got a little bit of a late start again. Apologies for all the technical glitches that we had. I appreciate so much all of you joining. Randy, thanks for your leadership on this call. Josh, thanks for everything you're doing. So remember to find the MSR form on the website and fill that out and be sure you get credit for this. And everybody stay well and stay safe. Randy, anything to close us out?
Yeah, just look out for the email to join the Tuesday's next virtual webinar. So, and be well, everybody.
Great. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.